YouTube. I am in, I'm either in one or two places. I'm either in Salt Lake or Denver, right? So I guess it's the last time we talked I was in Salt Lake. I must be in Denver, right? Yeah, I am. And today, they're doing a breakfast for Driver Appreciation Week. So let's see what we got. Youbest of the tubiest. The best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. I'm 50 plus. And I got an egg white omelet today from the griddle. They have a griddle set up outside, and you go through the line, and you put in the bowl, what you want in your omelet, and then you give it to them, and they throw it on a little griddle, and they make some omelets for you. And I think it's a really cool deal. And some terminals do things a little different, and this is what they got here at Denver, and I think it's a pretty good deal. I really like it. I'm glad that they recognize us in any way, in positive way, and go to get a free breakfast. I'm down with that. So we are going to do a little bit of Q&A today. Okay, sorry about that. I had to do a little edit because I got a phone call. Anyways, yes, I've been doing a few Q&As, and I've been doing them because it's I'm answering questions that you guys are asking, which means obviously that this content would be content that you guys want, because they're questions that you asked. That's number one. And number two, it's kind of easy for me to get it done and then get it to you, and not have to disturb my student too often while he's trying to rest. Well, we both rested last night, and so he's probably up front now getting him a burrito, an omelet. So I kind of got the truck to myself, but I have some good questions, so I want to go ahead and get to some of those for you. And some of these I've of course responded to them already online, but this is an opportunity to kind of express a little bit more about what I'm referring to. So Mystic Thunder and I had a little conversation about the older trucks, 16s, and I don't think the 17s did it. I know the 18s don't, but without a doubt the 20s, all the new trucks do not have the trailer brake bar. It's a little T-handle bar. You can snatch it down, slap it down, or whatever when your trailer is coming over, and it locks the brakes up on the trailer, and what it does, maybe lock them up depending on how much pressure you give, but the trailer will tend to snatch the truck back in line. Basically, what's happening. It's an emergency tool, and if you have to use that, something has gone very wrong, and you're driving in snow or rain or something, and the trailer's coming around. There may be other instances that I don't, I can't imagine myself being in a situation outside of any of those that would cause me to have to use that T-bar and try to lock them trailer brakes up. And if the situation gets out of hand, it's because the elements are just too much, or we as drivers are too much for the elements. and we got to, correct that to be safe for ourselves. But the new trucks, they don't have that. And the only way that you're going to be able to lock those trailer brakes up is to pop them brakes. You have to pop the red knob. And why this conversation came up is because when I was doing the new truck, I was talking about the new trucks, I didn't like the position. I still don't like the position of where the Kenworth buttons are, because if this were to happen, they're pretty much in, kind of hidden. If you got cups and stuff in there, cup holders, you definitely gonna have a problem trying to grab them in an emergency situation. And it is absolutely not practical to have to go down and pop that knob in an emergency situation, in a panic situation, because you grab the wrong one, you grab that yellow, and you just jackknife. It's game over. Game over. Okay? So, just so you know, when you're in a skid situation, the brake pedal is not your friend. Do not slam on the brakes in an emergency situation. Especially when you're going into a skid or a jackknife. I know it sounds weird, but when you learn to drive, you'll understand the best thing to do is just step on the accelerator. You need to give it fuel, not brake. Okay? You can fuel to the drives, pop that, lock up the trailer, and the truck will try to snatch itself back in line again. That's the best choice. That's the best opportunity you got. That, or, get a whole bunch of pillars and put them around you and hope that you get some cushion, because you about to have a problem. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Good deal, Mystic Thunder. I appreciate you. He's been around. He's been subscribed for a while. He comments a lot, and I really appreciate him. Omar wants to know if Swift still has manual transmissions in the training, and I do know they, company-wide, they're moving more towards the automated transmission. We don't have automatic transmissions, by the way. Okay, they're called automated transmission. Automatic transmissions are hydraulic. Okay, and it's just something we have to accept. I didn't really like that. I was really not a fan of the training at CR England. I wasn't a fan of training at CR England because when they upgrade you, or when you test, you have to test out in an automatic transmission. They've been doing it for a long time, and you didn't get the opportunity to get get a CDL with no restrictions on it if you went that route. However, kudos to them, because they obviously understood where the industry was going, and you're not gonna get a job out here at a carrier, and they have manual transmissions. Not at a mega carrier. It's gonna be maybe some mom and pop place or something like that. They may still have some, but the manufacturers of the fuel efficient bodied trucks, meaning trucks that aren't, classic long nose kind of things, the very, 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 very vast majority of those trucks coming off the line are not manual transmissions. That's just going to be a thing of the past pretty soon. Okay, so I guess why train in them? I guess that's what their theory is, which makes sense, and we just have to live with it. However, if you're on the fence, I think I'm gonna get in the truck, and and then you wait, then they're gone for real. Now you're going, man, I don't want no restriction on my life. Well, you should have got off the pot. You should have got off the pot and come on. And quit making excuses of procrastinating. You got to get her done, man. I mean, make things happen. Make it happen. Come on. If it's time and this is what you want to do, and you don't want that restriction on your license, you better hurry up. You get your stuff rolling. Come on. Burn some fuel. King Swift. Day 50 quick update. I'm on my 2.5 weeks. So he's in training right now, and he's going to be through next Friday. And he's super confident about his that he's mastered his 90 and all that kind of stuff. And hey, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's not what you guys think. It's not. Backing is not that big a deal. Okay, and I want to make it simpler. Now I'm gonna break it down for you guys and make it a little bit more of a. It's gonna be a classroom setting. And then we're gonna do a outdoor setting, with all of the cameras and stuff geared up. And we start next Friday. So the following weekend, Derek is gonna be done on Saturday. Today's Thursday. He'll be done on Saturday. I'll be dropping him off in Dallas, and then I'm gonna shoot home for a few days, and then pick up another student and head back to Salt Lake. So that Friday when we get to Salt Lake is when I'm gonna start the video series on backing, and that won't be the only series. It's just gonna keep flowing because we're gonna do a winter driving series and all that kind of stuff. But the backing thing is going to be a real big deal, and it's going to be an edited version for you guys, for the UBS, that I'm going to put on the YouTube page. And of course, way more in depth will be the classroom setting, so you have to go to Swifty Academy to see that. Okay, but backing is not hard, and I just want to show you guys that it can be done, and that you can do it. So don't let that stop you from coming out here. All right. Edgar says, "Yep, you said it. It'll be good if CDL people give them up." Yeah, he's talking about the video that I made with the Diamond Driver, Million Mile Driver, and I was saying before that, I don't see why anybody would come to a mega carrier and get your CDL, draft for a year, get company tender with your miles, and start coming up in the money, and then say, I'm just gonna quit and go work someplace else, because this is a starter company, this is a training company. It is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. When people say that, understand that when people say that companies that has schools, that they are only a training company and get it and leave, know that person is a follower. Don't listen to them. They are not a leader. They are a follower. They're just regurgitating the narrative. They're just saying what everybody else is saying. And if you start questioning them, they begin to crumble because they don't have any foundation. They're only saying that because that's what they heard. They have no substance. They haven't thought about it. They haven't really studied it. And I would put my check up next to theirs any day. I don't care if they've been at another company for 5 years. Let me see it. Come on. Let's go. Put yours up next to mine. Let's see who wins. And I'm with Swift Transportation. I'm never going to leave. And the Swift may have been towards the lower rank of pay in the past, but they are among the top now. Training company. Don't listen to them people. Don't listen to people. What they don't understand is when you show up, day one, your clock starts ticking. And as you continue to gain your experience and gain seniority, and with the tender that you've been at your company, and it's not just Swift. It could be whatever company you're at. You should be going up in the ranking on pay and seniority and days off and all that good stuff, and then leave because some crazy told you that you're working at the wrong company, and then you go and start all over again because you listen to somebody say something crazy, and that ain't the way to go, man. Be smarter than that. If you guys got any questions about that, hit me up, man. We can talk one-on-one, and I can explain that to you. I had another. The comment's gonna come up, and I'll remind you guys about it when it comes up. But one of the subscribers said it worked for him, that he had worked. He worked for Swift. He stayed with Swift for a really short period of time, really short, and then went to a local job in New Jersey and doing flatbed, and he's working 5 days a week, 1,500 hours a week, and and all as well. And he was OTR drive with Swift, and he wasn't making that 37 cents a mile, and so. Well, I'm not saying that he's wrong. I believe him 100%. I believe him because he said some key things. He's in New Jersey. That's number one. If all you do is drive in New Jersey, you should but not accept 37 cents a mile. The Swift wouldn't pay you 37 cents a mile. That's all you did was drive in New Jersey and around that area. Okay, because the pay up there is a lot higher. Not only that, OTR miles. They're long miles. So you're not at the outside of the pay. I'm going like this. I'm trying to block that light out so I don't have to keep looking different. I know the camera changes every time, so I'm trying to not that happened to you guys, but when you start comparing apples to apples in that situation, if he was a flatbed with Swift, he wouldn't be making 37 cents a mile. Because flatbeds don't make that. They make more than that, okay? And they get tarp pay, and they get all the other kind of stuff paid that they get with flatbed. So the drive-in and flatbed is not the same thing. Reefer pay more than drive-in because they got other things that goes on with that. But it's still apples and oranges. It's if you want to compare one, you got to compare like kind of properties, okay? And reefer doesn't necessarily, you're not gonna make more running one of the other. One pays more, okay? So you got to be able to understand what I just said. One pays more. But because it pays more doesn't mean that you're going to earn more, because there's variables there. There's variables with the amount of miles, the amount of work you do, the length of time it takes you to get all that stuff done. When you start weighing them out, it's about the same. It's just personal preference. Do you want to pull a reefer? Do you want to put a drive-in? Do you want to pull a flatbed? Do you want to throw chains and tarps and in the cold and the sun and the rain and all that good stuff, So it's just matters however you want to get her done, okay? So the next one is, you want to come on the other side? That was big, getting in a truck. Let me see what's another one here. Russell Payne, he's in the driver's lounge. I don't know if he's still here, Russell, but I'm gonna be here in Denver for another couple hours, and then I'm start heading out. That was Lindro. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but he's from New Jersey. And he had some questions about the GI Bill and the things of that nature. But his real concern, his real problem was getting in contact with recruiters. And he was saying he was having issues getting in contact with the recruiters. He had some questions and he wanted the recruiters to call him back, and he hadn't been contacted. And so what he did was reach out to Autumn and on Monday, and she hadn't gotten back with him. It had been like 2 days, and he was going, well, let's strike two, and if they don't get back with him, that'll be strike three, and Swift is out. So this isn't an uncommon situation, and I always say, you need to call Autumn. You need to call her or email her. Emailing is best, but reach out to her and let her know that I sent you, and she get on it. If you don't go that route, then don't come at me with with your issues, because that's how the industry works. Okay, that's just it, man. I mean, I don't care what company you go with. Recruiting is that way. You want to be treated extra special. If somebody don't get back with you, it's a strike. Well, you're gonna strike a whole lot of folks out. You're gonna get a Cy Young Award of striking out jobs. That's why you're still looking for one right now. I'm trying to beat up on you. I'm not. I just need you to be realistic. And the reason I'm saying like that, because there's some things else that he said that make me say that. And that need to get into that. But we have to be patient, or go the right route. I even offered to make the connection for him, and he said, no, it's okay, I'll wait. That's strike two on you now. Strike one, you didn't follow direction. Strike two, I'm trying to help you and you don't want the help. So, you follow what I'm saying? So I'm going to strike out. That's not how life works. We can't help each other that way. And you can't help yourself that way, striking out, possibilities. Keep your head up, and keep your eyes open, and give people opportunity to get back with you. And if somebody extends a hand, hey, let me pull you up. Man, come on. Reach up there, grab it, pull yourself up. Okay? That's just how it is. But in industry, in this industry, recruiting is, man, there's so many people that want to get into this business. So many people. And recruiters are way overworked. Sifting through applicants that are actually hireable. I've seen so much stuff. It's crazy, man. People will call these recruiters. I have some questions, and the recruiter say, okay, what you got? Well, and then they'll start asking a series of questions, and then the recruiter say, okay, well, when are you thinking about coming? Oh, in about 2 years. Click. They don't have time to play them games, man. They just don't have time for that. If you're not ready, don't call these recruiters. You waste their time, man. I mean, come on, man. That's this industry, and I know it's gonna sound bad. I know it, but I'm telling you the truth because I've sat there and listened to the calls. Okay, it's almost like, first off, these big trucks, man. I mean, as dudes, we've played with them as little kids, little toys, man, and dreamed about, flying airplanes, riding on ships and trains and big powerful machines, driving dump trucks and, bulldozers and everything. And these big rigs are, they are like a big, huge, powerful toy, man. You can't wait to get in them and start driving them. And that's what we feel inside. And sometimes, I know it's gonna sound bad, but listen, because it's the truth. I listen to those calls, and it's almost like I'm listening to a kid interviewing at a toy store to play with a toy, but he don't have the money to pay for it. That's what it sounds like. I mean, I've listened to people, and it sounds like they drunk when they leave the message. So you got an alcohol problem, but you want to come drive trucks. You know, I mean, you can't do it. Or, which is very, very typical, I'm almost trying to gather some information. I'm thinking about coming out in 2022. You're never going to get a call back, man. They don't have time to play. The recruiters don't have, they can't. Well, I need to know, I have to have answers to questions before I can make a decision. No, you don't need to ask a question that's going to be 2 years away, because the answer to that question 2 years from now could be different. The answer could be different. So it's not about that. You just want to inquire about stuff. And, if people got time to listen to it, then they do. But recruiters don't, man. And I'm not talking about just Swift. I'm talking about all the industry wide. They're overworked, man. They are. Automates work 7 days a week to keep up with what you guys demand. She does, because she also has to reach that work quota as well. But we overload her, and so now she has help. But when I listen to some of the stuff that recruiters have to deal with, is you guys would be surprised, man. And if they might get 20 candidates, let's say they get 20 candidates in a day, maybe 2 or 3 of them will actually be eligible to be a driver. They're going to have something crazy, speeding tickets. They still believe that it's okay to smoke marijuana and drive trucks because it's a medical thing, or, oh my God, whatever it is, it's still, you cannot drive impaired. If you got it in your system, you cannot drive a truck. And so, then they want to carry on a conversation of why that is, as if the recruiter made those laws. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. And this is the reason why you guys get so backed up on the list of having your phone calls and things returned. Okay? Don't strike them out because they're trying to get to you. You don't call and all of a sudden you first in line, okay? That's just not how it works. Okay? 26 minutes. Let's get 1 or 2 more. Let's see what's up here. Rick, there's a lot of truth in this video. I think it's very good advice. Very good working up understanding. Okay, he was talking about the young folks and patience, and I can tell you that's true. But there's a whole lot of mature folks. They need to mature more. Here you go. Case in point, I called you and you ain't called me back. I reached out to you, you ain't reached back. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and that person is not a child. But, we have our agendas and the things that we need to get done, and we need them done in our time frame. And so, it is what it is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But youth tend to look for quick resolutions, and not all the time that there are quick resolutions to things. And getting into this money and then get going to quick money is what he was talking about. Excuse me, man, that the orange juice is starting to come back. What he was talking about was people wanting to get into this industry and then uh, you know, stay with a company for a couple of months or maybe a year at the very most, because they want to hurry up and get into real big money. And but they only got a year experience, and that's what he was speaking of, people trying to move too quick. And I wholeheartedly agree. So Eric says that they had pizza at the Lathrop Terminal in California. Listen, I talked about it. I was at doing lunch at the terminal in Salt Lake, and I had a steak, ribeye steak, and they had these big old half-pound hamburgers, and they had chicken fried steak, chef salad, and you take your pick which one you wanted. Yeah. So he said they had pizza at the Lathrop Terminal. Okay, not all the terminals have the same budget. So, if I'm pretty sure in Phoenix and in Memphis, they probably had some different foods too. It's because those terminals are larger terminals and they have bigger budgets. They can do things a little different. Okay, so we got to be thankful for the free lunch. All it is something that you're gonna poop out later anyway. All right, so we're at 30 minutes. So I'm gonna do some more tomorrow. There's a few more, and it's a good question. I had a subscriber talk about coming on and then staying on for like a year and leaving and getting his own truck and his own authority. Man, I want to hurry up and address that before he do it. Okay, so for all of you drivers out there, happy Driver Appreciation Week, and go get your gullet full before, because tomorrow's Friday. We don't have much longer to suck up these free meals, and so go get them. So for all of you drivers, happy Driver Week, and deliver undistracted. And here's your boot.